That is heaven right there. Man, I love this water. So for those of you who have watched a few of my videos before, you will recognize this spot as the one where we caught that fish worthy of a name. I called him the beaver. Not 1, 2, 3, or 4 times, but 5 times in July. And we are in his neighborhood again. It is now October 12th, and we haven't caught him since July, but we've also spent a ton of time different places, and I have not frequented this particular run in a while. And as soon as I came around the bend on the road I used to access, I was stricken by the fantastic fall colors here as well. So there was no hesitation to tie on my October caddis rendition, and I'm not even fishing a dropper nymph. I still have dry fly on the brain, and when I get that way, I'd even forego a couple easy fish to just be throwing a dry fly. I am down one shoelace because I snapped it doing my thing, getting geared up. So I will be in the market for a 60-inch or whatever these things are, bootlace, but this is not a tough wade right here, so I think we'll be okay today. Man, that fly is floating nice. I don't know. My attempts to show dry flies floating with this GoPro have not been good, but I keep trying. All right, we are hooked into a sizable cutthroat right here, but I think he came up and swiped at my fly. Oh, he's a marked fish. How about that? For a minute, I thought he was hooked on the dorsal, but the fact is, he is in the size range that he could be beaver. He is hooked in the mouth with my October caddis that he came up and looked at and then came back a second time, but he has an orange tag hanging out of his dorsal, and I have seen that before on a couple of my trout streams. This is a big cutthroat, and he's kind of fighting like Theodore did. He's not using all of his strength right now. Beautiful fish. God, I hope I'm pointing right with the camera. But we will definitely be able to tell, if we're able to net him, if this is our boy, from his spots. Wow, this is a big fish. And I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna take information off of this tag. He most definitely wanted my fly because it's pretty deep. And I'm gonna do my surgery right off the bat and see. Oh, there we go. I should be able to get this fly out pretty easily. There it is. All right. Okay, so let's see here. I can't tell from... Okay. I'm going to read this out loud. This is www.tagidaho.gov, and our tag number is 20-99220. 20. God, look at that beautiful cutthroat. Holy cow. I'm gonna get some good pictures out of that guy. He's healthy, he's not bleeding. Honestly, so when I caught that fish 5 times in July, and my gut tells me this isn't him, but this is a good 18-incher right here. Let's take a look at that with the tag and get out in the sun, and we'll watch him swim away. Pretty easy to spot with that big orange tag hanging off his dorsal. How cool is that? And I have it recorded what the number is, so I should be able to look it up. Well, just like that, if I can get caught up, we're into another big cutthroat. Holy crap. That's 2 big fish right here before I've even worked the whole run. I'd say my October caddis is the shit. Now, it's interesting to me that neither of these fish, for their size, oh my gosh, I'm being a spaz again. Neither of these fish, for their big size, is really fighting very hard. Oh, that's cool. Let's see if the camera's catching all of that beauty. I mean, this is another 15, 16-inch fish, and he has not even come close to taking a run or doing any of that, but hey, you will not catch me complaining, because this is a beautiful fall cutthroat, just chubby as can be. And very much like I've said many, many times, the take was so subtle. It was just like a vacuum cleaner went off, and all of a sudden my fly was sucked under. All right, let's see if we can get a good look at this guy before we let him go. Yeah, that's another 17-incher. Holy crap. How cool is that? Looks like a buck, healthy as healthy can be. And there he goes. Jeez, I'm really glad I came fishing today. Awesome.
You saw me standing alone without a dream in my heart, without a love of my heart. You knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really did care for. And then they suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms would ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked love of my own.
So it's amazing as I stand here or try and get my footing casting, I am kind of in shock because with the camera off, I hooked yet another big fish, maybe even bigger, and on my hook set I broke him off. And thankfully I have a couple more of my October caddis patterns in my hat, so I quickly retied, but it was an equally subtle take, but there we go. But I saw, oh, whoa, this guy's a little hotter. But I saw enough of the fish, that previous fish, that I know it was a big one. I mean, this last 20 minutes has been the best big fish 20 minutes of my season, I think. I have lots and lots of video of catching some very big fish this year, but to go rapid fire like this, bam, 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 with these bigger fish, I wonder if the theory that I've always had is holding true, that when the water temperature drops like this, oh yeah, this guy isn't nearly as big, but he was spunkier. When the water temperature drops down to this point, it's like a signal to these guys that they better start eating everything in sight that they possibly can, because winter is coming. To quote Game of Thrones, winter is coming. And once our mountain winter hits, this water is barely above freezing. This guy has fought, I mean literally he is 5 inches shorter than his cousins, but he has fought 5 times as good. Oh, how about that little leap? I don't know if that'll show up. But it's a beautiful cutthroat, and they're all taking on just a little bit of color. They will not spawn, as I understand it, until, let me get the pliers out. They will not spawn until next spring, but our west slopes here, I think, tend to take on some of their color in the fall. All right. If I can get organized here and put them in the water, that'll be a cool picture. Oh yeah. Let's get the camera right for the release. We're not even going to touch this fish. I love it when they swim back in the net. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. All right, well, I have to admit, that is one of the coolest things I've ever done in fishing, but also the most nerve-wracking. I had the drone, oh, there was another take. I had the drone over my head for a solid 7 minutes, and I could faintly hear it, but it's a very quiet one. There's a good fish. And it was like, I knew it was there, and I knew it was probably safe. Oh, this is just a little guy. But that thing in the back of your mind is thinking about, what if a battery just decided to quit, and next thing you know, that thing's plummeting into the river. There would be no way, there would be no saving it. But right at the end of that 7 minutes is when I hooked the fish, so I'm very excited to look at the footage when I get home, once I let this little fella go. Man, they are all over this October caddis today, and I'm loving it. Makes me want to call my brother that I went to Montana with and tell him to get on a plane. The only problem is I live in such a remote part of Idaho that the nearest airport is a couple hours away. But yeah, this is going to be a great way to close out the dry fly season. And looking back at my pictures from last year, this hatch lasted, I think the last fish I caught on a dry fly last year was like on November 5th, which is still 3 weeks away. Now, I think we're a little bit ahead of last year as far as the temperature dropping, but today is absolutely perfect. I mean, it was only 47 degrees out driving up here, but I'm fishing in a sweatshirt and I'm perfectly comfortable. And obviously, there we go, another one. I don't know if I was facing this guy. Ooh, he looks a little bigger. He's big enough to get on the reel, I think. I'm making long casts, so it takes forever to get on the reel once you've stripped in a little bit. But oh yeah, nice cutthroat. But I am just like a kid in a candy store right now. Not only hooking fish after fish on dry flies, but I am getting the big ones too. What a day. I think I can reel in a little bit further. Make it easier to net this guy. Oh yeah, chunky. Oh, perfect release. I'd say that was a 13, 14 incher. I am in awe right now. Wow. Well, I'm feeling very grateful as I hike back to my truck. That 90 minutes was 100% of what I'm after. For a 90-minute period or an hour and a half, I was completely immersed in all things cutthroat trout. I thought of absolutely nothing but my next cast or my next fish, and holy smokes, very thankful for the experience.